The career journey of Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen's ceiling is as high as it gets as the youngest F1 driver to embrace the track, the youngest F1 driver to score world championship points, the youngest to win an F1 Grand Prix, and the top candidate to shatter the hegemony of a formidable Mercedes. And with this kind of greatness, we'd want to have a peek at this promised prince. A couple of years ago, the same question was asked by cynics and skeptics. How young is too young for Formula One? If you have the skill and dedication, anything is possible. Max Verstappen started rewriting Formula One's history books even before he was a full-time Formula One driver at the age of 17. Some of the records he now holds are unlikely to be broken. Have you heard the story of Max Verstappen? And would you believe me if I told you this young man is a miracle on the track? In today's video, we talk about how he progressed, his legacy on the F1 grid, and his future plans. But first, before we get started with today's video, please subscribe to the channel, post a comment, share the video, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up. So, let's get started. Max Verstappen was raised in a motorsport-obsessed household in Hasselt, Belgium. 2 podium finishes and almost 100 Grand Prix starts earned his father Jos Verstappen a place in Formula One history. At the age of 4, Max had his first go at a kart. He began competing in his native province at the age of 7. At the age of 8, he won the Belgian Mini Category Championship. Verstappen retained his championship in 2009 by winning all 21 races. During the 2007 Rotax Max karting season, Max began participating and won the title at the age of 10. As a 10-year-old, Verstappen competed in the Dutch Minimax karting series in a CRG kart and won that championship as well. Max Verstappen was competing internationally in 2007 after winning nearly every event on the national level. And that is where the greatness began. Verstappen was racing for a factory squad that utilized CRG karts in the international karting circuit a few years later. Verstappen continued his winning ways, winning multiple races and Europe and World Championships in the process. But for the young Dutchman, this was just the beginning. Verstappen competed in karting until 2012, when he moved up to single-seaters. This was Verstappen's most successful years in terms of podium finishes and wins, even though he was racing in a more competitive environment. Verstappen, on the other hand, eventually got a place in the European Formula 3 Championship in 2014, and he started out with good performances. On his 6th race, Verstappen had secured pole position and the victory after a string of strong qualifying performances and podium finishes. Verstappen's 2nd place finish in the championship standings made him a serious contender for the F3 crown. The big Formula One teams were also interested in the story. While everyone was focused on him, Max managed to finish 3rd in the 2014 European F3 Championship despite the attention. Max Verstappen joined Red Bull's junior driver program and was named Toro Rosso's test driver throughout the course of the season. For Max Verstappen, the 2014 Japanese Grand Prix marked the start of a historic Formula One career. The irony is that he was already an established F1 driver before even getting his driver's license. It was during the Australian Grand Prix that he became the youngest driver in World Championship racing history by competing in the Australian Grand Prix. He outpaced Jaime Alguersuari's previous record by 2 years. During free practice in Suzuka, Verstappen had his first taste of racing in a Formula One vehicle. At 17 years and 3 days old, he became the youngest driver ever to compete in a Formula One weekend. During the same year, Verstappen also participated in team testing at the US and Brazilian Grand Prix weekends. Red Bull stated that Daniil Kvyat and Daniel Ricciardo will replace Sebastian Vettel at the end of the season, following Vettel's announcement that he would join Ferrari. In order to fill the void left by the departure of Raikkonen, Red Bull hired Verstappen as a full-time driver for Toro Rosso. Verstappen made his Formula One debut in the Toro Rosso in the 2015 Australian Grand Prix, and he also became the sport's youngest driver to start a race at the age of 17 years, 166 days. The kid finished 6th at the next race in Malaysia and earned his first career point. 14 days later, in his 2nd Formula One race, he became the youngest driver ever to record a championship point. In his rookie season, Verstappen finished 12th in the championship with 49 points. To accommodate Daniel Kvyat, who had moved to Toro Rosso, Red Bull promoted Verstappen to the senior Red Bull racing team following the fourth race of his second F1 season. Red Bull's Max Verstappen was expected to make his F1 debut in the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix, and he was impressed during practice. Verstappen qualified ahead of both Kimi Raikkonen and Sebastian Vettel, both of whom were highly experienced Ferrari drivers, to start fourth on the grid for his Red Bull debut. In the early stages of the race, Verstappen was just behind Ricciardo. Around halfway through the race, the squad decided to switch tactics. Verstappen took the lead for the first time on lap 30, making him the youngest driver to hold that position in the history of the sport. Raikkonen was relentless in his pursuit of Verstappen, and the latter was able to hold him off until the end. Max Verstappen became Formula One's youngest winner at the age of 18 years and 228 days when the checkered flag came down. It was his 24th appearance in a Grand Prix. In his first 8 races with the Red Bull team, Verstappen finished on the podium 4 times. After that, his performance dropped and he ended the season with a respectable 7 podium places. After a few years, he made steady improvements and learned to play smarter as well as improve his driving. Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas of Mercedes finished ahead of him in the 2019 F1 World Championship. He had a 50-point lead over Bottas, who was second in position. During the 2020 Formula One season, Max Verstappen had his finest form ever, as he matched second place by Bottas in the number of races won and podium positions. In addition, he narrowed the deficit to only 9 points. Verstappen has gained a cult following due to his aggressive racing style. Because of his fearsome defense and nerve-wracking attack, he's frequently been in hot water with the FIA and his fellow drivers. Fans have taken note, though, because of his impressive abilities and innovative attitude. In an age dominated by Mercedes, he's a breath of fresh air. The one who takes on the ultimate power and gives them a good fight. In addition to the Red Bull acolytes, he's also a fan favorite among the general public. To put it another way, if you ask the drivers around him who they don't want following them right now, the overwhelming majority will undoubtedly say it's Verstappen. This year, Red Bull's vehicle has been the fastest on the grid. Verstappen has a golden opportunity to embrace the moment and pursue his aim of winning the Formula One World Championship. Given the amount of uncertainty surrounding the upcoming revisions for the 2022 season. But so far, the dream of Max Verstappen is slowly manifesting. As soon as he got into the cockpit of an F1 vehicle, it was like a dream come true. He's now a major candidate for this year's World Championship, and many see him as a potential champion after years of hard work and commitment. And that's all for today's video. I'd like to wrap it up there. How impressive do you find his career? Do you think he'll go on to be the unbeatable champion? Comment below, let's engage. Also, support the channel by subscribing and leaving a like. That's it for now. Until next time, adios.